Let's talk about motions of the body. You probably remember anatomical position from the last video, but let's talk about fetal position. Fetal position, just kind of a mention that everything is bent, and oppositely, anatomical position is where everything's straight. By the way, these are palms up hands. So again, fetal position, everything bent, anatomical position, everything all straight out. And the reason why I bring this point out so vehemently is because anything moving from this anatomical position to this fetal position is going to be flexion. Anything moving from this fetal position to this anatomical position is going to be extension. And again, flexion and extension we're going to see all over the body. All these motions I'm going to be presenting to you are going to be motions that are very general, and you can apply them to a majority of the muscles that we're going to be talking about in later videos. So the next motion I want to talk about is this motion right here, and this motion right here. You probably remember these two motions from the last video, but let me just kind of recall these planes of motion right down here. Remember this frontal plane where the body is cut from the front and the back? Well, let's remember that for this one, because when the body is cut from front to back, that's where we're going to see this motion happen. We're going to see it where in the middle, from the midline of our body, anything that's being taken away from this position, anything that's being taken away from this midline of the body is going to be abduction. So again, this is when a limb is moving in this frontal plane, the plane that divides the front from the back, and it is moving away from this midline of the body. That is abduction. And its opposite motion, anything moving back towards the body, is going to be adduction. So abduction and then adduction. And for the last two motions that I want to go over in the body, let me move this over right here. So imagine this is your arm. It's kind of just outstretched to the side. Think of any sort of movie where you've seen anyone kind of like hauling a taxi or anything. That's kind of the motion of this body. And the next thing that we want to see is kind of this arm kind of coming close and just kind of hugging the torso of your body. So it's kind of moving from this position to this position over here. And if you don't remember, think of the transverse plane, where it is kind of moving in this part where it divides the top and bottom of your body. So anything moving towards the inside of your body in this plane is going to be internal rotation. And oppositely, anything moving from this hugs body portion to kind of like this hand outstretched motion is going to be external rotation. Now, there is a couple more things that I want to go over before I end this video. All these motions that you see here, flexion, extension, abduction, adduction, internal rotation, external rotation, you're going to see these motions all over the body, but you are going to see motions that are exclusive to some parts of the body. Say, for example, right here with the shoulder. If we're going to see a motion like this, where you kind of just shrug your shoulders up, this is going to be called elevation. And you don't have to memorize this for right now, I just want to just kind of make this point. Right here, this is going to be elevation, and this is a motion that you're really only going to see specific to the shoulder, as well as this part right here, where you kind of go from this palms up to palms down portion right in the forearm. And you're probably thinking, well, isn't that just internal rotation? Well, it's actually not internal rotation. Moving your hands from this palm up position to this palms down position is actually going to be pronation. So, again, remember that flexion, extension, abduction, adduction, internal rotation, and external rotation are very general motions that you're going to see all over the body. However, it's not going to be the end-all be-all, because with some parts of the body it's going to be a little tricky, but we'll just get to that in later videos. Just in case the picture was any sort of confusing, I wanted to give you this live version of the motions. So this is flexion, extension, abduction, AB, adduction, and this is internal rotation and external rotation. And you might have been confused with pronation and supination, but this is them. Pronation, supination.